All right, guys. Today we're gonna do the alternatives. The alternates. Sorry, issue number 1 of 4 from Dark Horse Comics. This is a spin-off from Minor Threats, which I really liked. There's a bunch of supervillains, that has been framed and they want to redeem themselves. This is about superheroes and some weird stuff. Now, I just read it a moment ago. I have some things to say about that. So, without further ado, there's a lot of people in here, including that Patton Oswalt that I really don't like. And I didn't see it, but Tess Fowler is also involved. I don't hear good things about her, but that's not here or there. So let's dive in, and I'm gonna explain. So there's some girls in here in the Twilight City. Twilight City is, remember X and Ghost from Dark Horse Comics? It's way superior than this. It seems that the Twilight City has a lot of weird things going on. It's all normal, a lot of people that are look weird and had superpowers and all that stuff. It's just all normal here. And I believe that's what I'm thinking about. This woman is on crack, on cocaine, or some kind of not cocaine or crack, but some kind of a drug. And she's, hallucinating, and this is happening. So I'm not sure if this is reality because he has powers, or that is just one big trip. It's a little bit unclear to me. And then we have a dream sequence about wolves. This is art by Tess Fowler, by the way. You can see here that's been split up. One is by Christopher Mitten, and the other one's by Tess Fowler. 3, 19, and 20, and it's 1, 2, 4, 18, 21, 24. And so there's immediately some weird stuff in here, like this here, right? I'm not sure if wolves actually do that. Probably, maybe, but it looks weird. It's getting weirder later. So, and it has this girl who has been, swiping the whole night, because dating, because that's a thing. And she can turn into different kind of monsters. Somehow. We're going to explain that a little bit later too. But then she is, going to some therapy group. And this is the Mr. Tripper. And everybody gets a turn, right? So what is happening here? It seems that they are, and once upon a time, they are going to, to another dimension. And I believe that was in the ledge. And everybody has a different experience there. They went to another dimension to stop some kind of a threat. I believe it's called the 6th dimension. It could be wrong. And then they lived part of their lives in a mirror dimension. Now, how do they got there and what is the ledge? I do not know. It's never been explained to me except that it is and it happened. Maybe in another book, but I'm not entirely sure. I cannot find anything about it because I believe this just happened. And it seems that all of these people had... when they are in the middle dimension, they basically are the best selves of them, the best versions of themselves. So this guy called Crab Louie, ever see one of those dumb 50 movies where atomic radiation makes a giant monster and it menaces a pretty scientist? Yeah, he married one because that's totally believable. Comics, guys. Anyway, but then you say, when I come back, I'm just an asshole, but what is that? 2% instead of almond milk. But Kathy and I are sharing a bed again, so there's that, right? All right. And this guy called the Persona. I solve crimes by accessing the skills of all my past life. The samurai, the pharaoh, the Victorian detective, etc. All when we went over to that dimension, it changed. He says, suddenly I shed all their fears, their hates, and their loves, which I tapped into to solve the greatest mysteries of mankind. But now back here, it's all quiet, soulless, just like the cases I keep working. Imagine wielding the tracking abilities of Chief Sitting Bull just to catch a cheating housewife in the act. Makes me want to die all my previous deaths all over again. Oh, I went out in some movie this week. It sucked. And then we have, Kid Curious, who thinks he's better than everyone, right? And he says, I was a terrorist, a serial killer who murdered micro-universes with one. A desperate god who cared about no one. It's fucking great. I got ice cream this week. Rocky Road. And then This is Mary Marie the multi-monster. She can shapeshift, by the way, my body into, or her body into different parts of various legendary creatures. Then she says, you know what? I resisted coming to these meetings for a really long time, and nothing personal, okay? I like you guys before and after the ledge, but she says, you know, this is not for me anymore, and I'm not like you. I'm getting out of here. So what happens is that this guy called Trip is going after her, and he says, one question, what's your favorite kind of pie? And she says, what? Just think, what kind of pie would make you drop everything if you knew the best spot for it in the city? Pecan. So he, I don't know, creates a car, and then he goes eating food with her. I mean, what about your clients, dude? They need therapy, and you just drop it all because you want to, you know, shag at this girl. He says, look, Trip, it was great bumping into you the other day, and I really appreciate the invite to the group. I do, but all the Picas in the world, I'm going to change my mind. I've moved on. Like what's his face, the divider. I reacclimated with my real life. Even got a date tonight. So he says then, I know, but I'm buying. So I earned $4.25 worth of your time, right? So a whole bunch of years ago, I found this amulet smoking crater outside Palm Springs. For the moment, I dropped it around my neck. Every highway, back road, and off ramp was an open book to me. And the trip rod, I couldn't get lost, neither could anyone with me. So, and he says that, so I helped a lot of people find who or what they were looking for. The trip or hard driving hero for the motor age, the Route 66 Sentinel. But then the Continuum, so the Continuum is the superhero group that went completely crazy and in Minor Threats, right? They are here, by the way. Asked us to go on the ledge. And by the time we got back, everyone with Google Maps has pretty much all the powers of the great wandering eye of Lama. And that is probably, I don't know, his power on this amulet, right? So he's feeling a little bit useless, but he still wants to help people. He says, it finds people, sent me trucking until I run into them in the classic literal aisle off the Redport branch. And then, well, he does this. And then everybody's falling unconscious because, oh no, it's the searcher. I believe she's the leader of the Continuum, right? And he says, sorry for the dramatics, but I thought we would speak in private. So she says, hey, the Continuum owes you for your sacrifice. And I won't even pretend to understand what you went through over there, but out of respect, I wanted to let you know we detected energies associated with the dimension anomaly. Traces of the ledge has been discovered in Twilight City. So traces of the lead is, I believe, what's happening here at the beginning, right? I believe it bleeds over, turning it into a drug, making people, I don't know, used to it, you know, how to say, addicted to it. Because I think there are, you know, want to have the feeling when they went into the ledge or the mirror universe or the sixth dimension, whatever it is, you know, and become the better version of themselves. That's just a guess. And he said, that's impossible. We leave it behind. Did you leave it behind? Excuse me? I know that place changed you, your powers, your consciousness, your dimensional existence was expanded. So I have to ask, have you or any of the attempted to go back there? And so she says, hey, are you accusing us? And then he wants to, I don't know, look into her mind with her powers, right? But then Monster Girl says, if you do that, you're going to get it. I will fill that mind with the tainted urges of 100 monsters. And you don't like being tainted, do you, searcher? I do not. Then I've given you and the Continuum more than enough. I've given all of you enough. I'm leaving. He says, Mary, let's keep talking. I have a fucking date. Okay, I like that. Then she collects herself. She says, hey, I am like the others. Now, and then this woman with the Crustian guy, Lou. I mean, it reminds me of The Boys with the guy called the Deep, you know, that he has infatuation with aquatic creatures, you know, degenerate stuff. He's doing that here as well, right? So, yeah. But now it's getting a little bit worse after this. So people going through depression. And that's somewhat relatable. And also the dating is relatable, but what comes after that is totally not. So, of course, she's going on a date, and the guy's, well, not really a dick, but she's not even listening. She's not interested. And he comes over a little bit like a douche, but not really intrusive, right? All right. Just because I went over a ledge once doesn't mean I can't climb back up. It's not even that hard for me. I'm the multi-monster. A Transylvania midwife used the dagger of Van Helsing to perform an emergency C-section of my mother, infusing my blood with that of 1,000,000 monsters. What? Changing back. It's what I do. So, all right. So this guy's trying to impress her, right? But then she's doing this. Now, probably a lot of you recognize this pattern. So this guy says, hey, that was fun. Can we do it again? And she just deletes the contact. I mean, it happened to me a couple of times that I was in contact with a girl. And then, I didn't have a hint or whatever that she wasn't interested. Actually, she told me even, hey, let's do it again. And then she deleted a couple of days our contact. Probably happened to you guys as well. If not, then I'm probably the only one. But I think this is scummy, right? At least say, hey, dude, it wasn't what I thought it was. I'm not interested. Goodbye. Or, something like that. But don't just, oh, yeah, I don't want to do it anymore, and then deletes. It's just, this is what privilege looks like, by the way. Anyway, so she's reading a book. But then we go to degenerate stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. I do not mind nudity or graceful nudity or even erotic in books. But it have to be, how do you say, in context with the whole story. Now, what I'm showing you here is just a fantasy of this woman. There's nothing wrong with that, but you could tone it down a little bit here. All right. So there's nothing gracious, or, graphic, but the whole licking thing. Now, I'm not sure if I can show you this because of YouTube, but I'm going to do it anyway and going to see what the consequences are. Now, look what's happening here. I guess there's a monster girl likes Dracula, but then we have all this degenerate wolf licking stuff and doing furry prawn. I don't want to see that, dude. Did we really need to see that? I mean, couldn't you do it in a completely different way? Make it erotic, but don't make it overly sexual and degenerate, because that's what I think it is. Anyway, so then this little guy called the Divider, he can, clone his body into multiple smaller copies of himself. And she says, hey, what are you doing here? They think we came home, but we were never actually us. I'm there right now. Want to come with me? And he lets himself fall from the ledge here. Then she goes to trip, and he says, I think he's in trouble. So this guy's dead, right? So they go to his house, and they found out that he is dead. And all these clones are also dead, right? He talks about that he's getting back in shape, wants to go back to the continuum, try for a tryout. He has also, bought a ring for his fiance, etc. And then he's dead, OD'd. So ODing is like overdosing, right? And this is what it is. This is the ledge. This is a drug. How does it come there? Why is it a substance instead of, a dimension? Do not know, but we're going to find out in the next one. So what do I think about this? I think it's trying a little bit too hard in certain places, trying to be edgy. I like this monster girl, but this whole degenerate stuff you can leave out, if you ask me. The other dimension thing could be a little bit more expanded, so I hope we see a little bit more in the next issues. I have 2 and 4. I missed 3. I ordered that because I want to know. So yeah, I'm not sure what I think about this, right? Because there's a lot of things going on. I like my murder mystery, so maybe it's going to get good, but it's not Minor Threat, and Minor Threat's immediately pulled me in. This not so much. So, guys, let me know in the comments what you think about it. See you next time. Bye-bye.